Hello, my name is Liam Gleason, and for my theater final, I chose Amelia, the story of a curious and imaginative girl whose childhood was not ideal as she was excluded from the world and its wonders by her eccentric parents. When grown up, she stumbles across an old capsule and agrees to give it back to the owner. From that decision, she discovers that her life goal now is to do good deeds to everyone around her, but along doing these deeds, she finds trouble in her biggest task, Nino Quinn Poyax, who she is in love with. The reason why I chose this as my final blog was because I see it to be a beautiful combination of all the factors of film we've talked about this year. To give an example, the first three frames we give have zero reference to the main character Amelia, but instead show the viewer how the movie experience is going to be. We start by seeing an old street which looks to be in Europe, with the movie soundtrack which gives a distinct French sound that allows us to know we are in France. Then on top of that, we hear quick and frantic dialogue spoken in French by an omniscient third-person narrative about a random fly getting smushed by a car. And the next two frames are similar to this mise-en-scène stated before, while giving two more quick scenes about telling their own stories. At first, this may all seem strange, but from these scenes, we can see how this movie is going to be played out, with its multiple stories showing us how Amelia has many stories of her friends and family, its upbeat soundtrack to show us how this movie is going to focus on blissful feelings, its cinematography as we see vibrant colors in a mild manner seen throughout the story, the undertow of humor seen in its audio and visual frames combined, and finally the realization the omniscient narrator will stay with us throughout the story, shown by the constant theme of giving each character a like and a dislike to understand them a little more. The framing of a scene can be extraordinary key to a film, such as the love story of Amelia and Nino. Multiple times we can see similar circumstances amongst both characters to show their similarities. An example of this is during the end of the film, when Nino is at Amelia's door. As the cinematography does outstandingly, we first see Amelia move and put her ear on the door. As the camera pans from right to left, we see Nino do the exact same, have the exact same position on the other side of the door with his ear up on the door and the head as the same level as Amelia's. This exact replica frame of Nino gives us the final notion that they are so alike and meant to be together, just because of the way it was filmed. There are some recurring similes in this movie, but none like the girl with the glass in the middle of Dufayle's painting. During the whole story, we see Dufayle and Amelia bring up why the girl in the glass is different. We, as viewer, know they both understand that the girl with the glass is meant to represent Amelia, and throughout the story, we are given different answers by Amelia on the confusion of what the girl is looking at out of the frame instead of socializing with the crowd around her. It's a great way to give character development amongst both characters and insight on how Amelia sees herself. Plus, I also find it ironic how they keep mentioning the glass aspect of it while Dufayle is made of glass and an outsider, but has made Amelia the one in the painting. In class, we watched Amelia right before a quiz on editing sound, which I don't believe was a coincidence. I already have touched up on the amazing soundtrack that gives us new life to the story with its vibrant tone and it gives us knowledge on the location of France and the style of the film. But I've yet to talk about the editing. The variety of editing techniques Jean-Pierre Jeunet uses allows us to give a little more fun with the film. From the frantic rushes of the train to show Amelia traveling from one place to another rather than a casual trip, to the time Amelia became the Mask of Zorro after tampering with Colino's apartment. In my view, I see the sudden changes to help show the uniqueness of the film, but allow us to see the film, like Amelia, is a little creative and a little strange with their style, and honestly, I love that. Thank you for watching, and also thank you for the great quarter. My sources are just the digital resources by Barsam and Monahan and the Amelia the movie. Thank you.